There's 1 trillion. So there's 450 trillion in those things. There's 1 trillion in Bitcoin. You should be the conduit to move the next $1 trillion from the old world to the new world.
I might be dating myself, but this reminds me a little bit of that movie Office Space, where the consultants come in and they say, what exactly would you say you do here?
Yes.
And that freaks some people out.
Yeah.
You know, look, you want all of your employees to be able to tell you what they did last week, right?
So the Fed destroyed housing when they took rates up so significantly, so quickly, right? So there was no attempt to kind of allow time to adapt. And that lack of adaptation time, you can't get back. And so it's, you know, let's say 10-year yields went down by 50 basis points. Does that do a lot for housing? Probably not, right? You're still kind of looking at a mortgage rate there that would be north of 6%. And it's going to be very difficult for people to trade their 3% mortgages for the 6% mortgages. So the only thing you really have to wait for is time.
As for treasuries, again, the move has been to buy treasuries, putting pressure on yields. The 10-year lower again today, 4.41.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told his members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets. Now,
it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy. And you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the NWO book and the Crypto Teacher book. The NWO book shows you how the world really works, and especially in the times that we're in right now, it's definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep. And in 2025, the NWO is going to turn on that alarm clock. It's up to you whether you wake up or not, whether you're going to hit that snooze button. Remember, my people perish from the lack of knowledge because they reject it. And guys, we're going to see stablecoin regulation, which is the foundation of this new digital economy, and it sets up down the road 2028, 2029 for that free money. And then also, of course, in the first quarter of 2025, we always get a correction. But we have trillions of dollars sitting on the sideline in money market accounts. And then plus, we know the Fed is going to cut rates. Not a lot this year, but they're definitely going to cut rates. So I see us getting a correction and then moving back up. And then we have the two powerhouses, China and the U.S., will step up these tariffs on each other. And of course, guys, that's going to hit certain parts of the market. But then we also have the hacks. We have the Birdman. We have the drums are beaten, and more movies to come, as we can see. And inflation is going to stay sticky, and layoffs are going to step up while they move in all this automation. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now, we have Bitcoin and crypto down as expected. Remember, guys, we have futures ending on Friday. So we know they like to price it in. So when Friday get here, it won't be as bad. And we have the Bitcoin spokesperson, Michael Saylor of Strategy, acquires 20,356 Bitcoin worth $1.9 billion. And MicroStrategy is going to continue to buy. And we know BlackRock and Morgan Stanley have their hands all over Strategy. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now, guys, make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates which are being pushed down, but we're seeing the NASDAQ and the S&P pull back. The Dow slightly up, but remember, the Dow is only 30 stocks. But we can clearly see the manipulation in yields. But like I told you guys, they're going to keep creeping up, and especially when Jerome Powell says they're going to pause, they're going to make a big move up. But again, we can clearly see the manipulation. If they weren't manipulated down, like I stated, guys, the stock market would be crashing, and also cryptos would be crashing, because we're clearly seeing liquidity start to shrink out of the market. And then right now we have the dollar slightly up. We have volume in crypto right now up. We have Tether and USDC. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. Repo at 68 billion on Friday. Make sure you pull on a daily basis during the week. And we know the Fed wants to keep rates high for longer to destroy this legacy market so Trump can build this fourth industrial revolution. And we're seeing they're interrupting every sector of this economy, and AI, these digital assets, and these machines are the fix. Now we see Berkshire Hathaway going more into cash. And of course, the headline says Warren Buffett, but we know he's too old. There's definitely strings being pulled. And also, they're betting big on Japan. And guys, we know why. Markets are definitely going to have a big pullback, and they want to buy everything pennies on the dollar. And then also, the emerging markets are going to rise. Remember, I brought you the video plenty of times where we brought the Japanese leaders to San Francisco to plan out this fourth industrial revolution. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then we have Peter Schiff on this 2% Fed go. And guys, don't forget all this inflation. I don't care whether it's 0%, 2%, 4%, 8%. The fact is, it's all corporate greed. We know it's a handful of companies that own everything. They could easily lower prices, but this is about squeezing the consumer. Remember that little bit of stimulus money that they gave? They got that money back 10 times fold. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have the Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale. Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs right now are down. And we have BlackRock spot Ethereum ETFs now hold 3.6 billion worth. Also, we have crypto ETFs saw over 500 million in outflows last week. And like I constantly tell you, make sure you're paying attention to the inflows and outflows. The mainstream media and the hype boys are only going to talk about the inflows. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have Canary files for a spot HBAR ETF with the NASDAQ. And again, guys, we're going to see more and more of these crypto ETFs, but down the road, they're definitely going to be bundled. Because when you look at ETF players, you might only have 1 to 3 in that sector. We have plenty of these crypto ETFs, and all of them are not going to make it at the end. But getting over into a little crypto news. We have Ethena to build a new chain and launch TradeFi Focus token with backing from Franklin Templeton. And again, guys, everything is going to be tokenized and put on blockchain. And we're seeing a lot of these fund managers doing the work for the Fed. They're tokenizing these treasuries. And we know DeFi is definitely the new banking. Now we have the SEC closes another case. Closes a case against Robinhood. And remember, guys, this is a plan. It moves in phases. And we're going to get stablecoin regulation. And along with that regulation comes staking. So a lot of these lawsuits don't make sense. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then lastly, guys, we have Binance's CZ reveals his portfolio. 98% BNB, 1.32% of Bitcoin, 0.17% in Uri, which is a stable coin in Europe, and then 0.03% in USDT. And a lot of people ask, why 98% BNB? And that's an easy answer, because he got it for free, just like the rest of these founders. You're going to give yourself a large piece of the ownership, and the same thing goes for stocks. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books. Crypto Teacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.